In this video, I'm going to be building and reviewing special LEGO Star Wars sets. But what exactly is it that makes these sets special? Let's find out. Okay, so the LEGO Star Wars theme has reached its 25th anniversary, and to celebrate, LEGO decided to release 7 sets that include special edition minifigures, most of which are obscure characters that probably wouldn't have been made under normal circumstances. And Star Wars is one of my favorite LEGO themes, so I'm excited to see what these sets are all about. Starting with this first one that's called Boarding the Tantive 4. This set depicts the hallway inside the Tantive 4 ship in a diorama-like fashion, with some nice texture and sticker details on the walls giving it a clean look. But I can't say the same about the back. This set includes 2 rebel troopers led by Captain Antilles, and they've been tasked with protecting the ship from the stormtroopers led by Darth Vader, who managed to break in by cutting through this sliding metal door. And while the shootout occurs in the hallway, these levers on the side can be turned to knock over the minifigures as they get taken out. Now, as for those special anniversary minifigures I mentioned, this set comes with ARC Trooper 5s, a fan favorite clone trooper from the Star Wars The Clone Wars series. He's got nice arm printing, a backpack, and cloth shoulder pads. Even the head print underneath is accurate too. Now, being a special anniversary minifigure, he's not meant to be part of this scene, so instead he gets a 25th anniversary stand to be displayed on separate from the rest of the set. Okay, this next set is a little bit different because it's a giant buildable R2-D2 that costs $100. Alright, and here he is. The proportions on this guy are spot on, and the level of detail is just right. And for what is basically a LEGO robot, it feels pretty expressive. His head can turn a full 360, and his legs can move back to make him look like he's driving forward.
So that's why he's got that third leg.
Yeah, so in the movies, he's got all these gadgets and tools stored inside him, and even a third leg. And some of these are included in the set, you just have to manually attach them. Personally, I like to leave the grabber and scomp link off, with the periscope and third leg attached as my preferred look. The set even comes with a R2-D2 minifigure, which fits next to this information plaque to be displayed with the model. But don't confuse this with the 25th anniversary stand, which is meant to display this set's special minifigure, Darth Malak, an evil Sith Lord from the Knights of the Old Republic video game. This guy looks great. His red outfit makes him pop, but the highlight has to be that exclusive prosthetic jaw piece. There's even printing underneath it to show his damaged jaw. Definitely a fine addition to this collection. Now, if you didn't know, May 4th is known as Star Wars Day, and that same week, LEGO released new Star Wars sets to celebrate, one of which was Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator. So I built this LEGO time machine to travel back to Star Wars Day to buy this set on release day. The LEGO store hadn't even opened yet, and there was already a line outside.
Can we see the jacket, bro? Nice.
And after more than an hour of waiting, the line was getting pretty lengthy. I'm looking to get the Sith Infiltrator.
Alright, yeah, we've got all of those.
Less than 15 minutes left.
And finally, it was time. Yeah, so pretty much as soon as I walked into the store, the LEGO employee said I was not allowed to record any videos. However, they did say I could take pictures. So here's one of me buying the set. Okay, this better have been worth all that trouble. Let's start with the anniversary minifigure first, which is Saw Gerrera. He's actually appeared in lots of Star Wars content, but as more of a side character. Nonetheless, this minifig is amazing. There's so much complex detail, even on the shoulder pads. And the cherry on top is that he has a special printed cape. Very nice. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier, but these display stands come with a 2x4 plate to connect them to each other for a more cohesive display. As for the Sith Infiltrator, it's got a sleek design with some nice color patterns. I especially like these mechanical details right here. Right now, the ship is in landed position, but you can retract these landing skids and fold the wings out for flight mode. And for weaponry, these ingot pieces right here are actually triggers to launch these spring-loaded missiles. The back of the ship opens for the pilot, which in this case is Darth Maul, and inside the cockpit there's also room to store his lightsaber and a whole speeder.
Very effective use of space.
But the main feature happens when you pull this lever to release what appear to be bombs at first, but they're actually those little probe droids that help Maul find young Anakin and Qui-Gon Jinn. Now, talking about Darth Maul reminded me of something. I know I said there were 7 of these sets with special minifigures, and that is true. But what if I told you there might be an 8th minifigure that comes in a book? This is the LEGO Star Wars Visual Dictionary. It gives information and little tidbits about things like characters, settings, and vehicles throughout LEGO Star Wars' history. But more importantly, it comes with a Darth Maul minifigure inspired by the version from 1999. Only this one has shiny printing on his back to celebrate the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars. So this raises a question, should he be included with the others? Well, it's tough to say since Darth Maul is definitely not an obscure character, and this is a recreation of an older minifig, which is not up to modern standards. But he still wants to celebrate the 25th anniversary, so I'll let the others decide. Okay, let's just move on to the next set called Creative Play Droid Builder. This one should be interesting. In this set, you get 4 buildable droids being Chopper, QT-KT, R5-J5, and of course, R2-D2. And if you were curious, here's how he compares to the other R2s we've seen.
This is the girl you like, that's her crush, and that's you.
These droids all have a chibi/caricature look to them, and you're meant to take these apart in chunks so you can mix and match them in all sorts of combinations. But if you're not satisfied with these, the set also includes a bunch of goofy accessories like hats, glasses, bow ties, headphones, mustache, boosters, blasters, balloon, ice cream, and this duck floaty, all of which can be attached to the droids for even more wacky combinations. And for the anniversary fig, we get young Princess Leia from the Kenobi show, and you'll notice she comes with her droid Lola too. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure who wanted this minifigure, and it's kinda unfortunate to think this takes up a slot for what could have been a more exciting character, but I suppose she adds some variety to the display at least. Now it's time to contrast this cutesy looking set with a more menacing set, specifically one of the biggest, most dangerous ships in all of Star Wars, the Imperial Star Destroyer. In addition to this ship's super imposing look, it's armed to the teeth with weaponry, like spring-loaded shooters and 4 moving turrets on both sides. The ship can open up to reveal a massive interior with lots of rooms and control stations to place the Imperial officers and troopers from this set. The most notable inclusions being Commander Praji and my boy DV. I should also mention there's this retractable handle to carry this ship around, which honestly isn't even that necessary for how sturdy this thing is. It's also got these massive boosters on the back so it can blast off into hyperspace. And that leaves us with Cal Kestis as the anniversary minifigure, and he's from the popular video game Jedi Fallen Order. And even though I haven't played it, I can't help but feel he's incomplete without BD1 since I always see them together. Now LEGO has made a BD1 minifigure, but it only comes in one set that's discontinued, which I definitely did not buy just to pair them together. You know, I think we're getting a bit off topic here. Besides, we still have 2 minifigs left. And the next one comes in this set, and his name is Nine Nub, or Nee Nub. I don't know, that's how it's spelled. This is the guy that helps pilot the Millennium Falcon during the climax of Return of the Jedi. Maybe this is a coincidence, but the set he comes in is the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit, a scene that takes place earlier in the exact same movie, only he wasn't there. The Desert Skiff is pretty much like a hovering boat, and this LEGO version has high levels of detail and good shaping. The side rail can swing out to show damage, and you can't forget the extending plank where Jabba's goons are tasked with making the heroes walk into the deadly Sarlacc Pit. And this is by far the biggest Sarlacc Pit LEGO's ever made. The mounds of sands on the sides really helps add some depth. I just don't understand why the back isn't covered with sand too. I mean, yeah, it's got these knobs that can move the Sarlacc tentacles, but still. Another mild complaint about this set is that the clear stands on the skiff are way too short, so there's no room for figures to really fall into the pit. So I'm gonna try adding some of my own pieces to make them taller, and oh my goodness, this looks way better. And it looks like we'll be wrapping things up with the smallest set in this lineup, Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder. Now this is an interesting set because these vehicles don't actually exist in the Star Wars universe. They're actually remakes of vehicles that LEGO made up themselves and released as separate sets back in 2008. So with this being a versus themed set, each side has 3 minifigures. The Scout Speeder holds 2 in the front and 1 on this upper turret, which by the way can be detached from the speeder and placed somewhere else. And I suppose you can use the space underneath it to store some weapons. As for the dropship, 1 minifig sits in the cockpit to pilot the ship, and the other 2 get placed on this back platform so they can get dropped off into battle, as the name implies. And for the final 25th anniversary minifigure, remember that QT-KT droid from earlier? Well, that's exactly who this is, in minifig form. And these yellow markings indicate that this is based off the Star Wars The Clone Wars episodes where she was part of D-Squad. And with the last minifigure being an astromech droid, it adds even more variety to what is now a complete set of LEGO Star Wars 25th anniversary minifigures. What a lineup. This is gonna look great on display. Display. Doesn't belong in this scene. Good for the collection. At least they add variety, not part of the set. Well, it looks like these minifigures are tired of being cast aside for display, and they want to be part of the sets too. So now, they're gonna take them over.